out a very eventful November in college football. Glad to have you with us. College Football Live, alongside my buddies and partners, Lou Holtz, Mark May. I'm Rece Davis. And if you just watched SportsCenter over on ESPN, perhaps the new head coach of the New York Knickerbockers. How about that?
I may get assassinated.
Lou gave a pep talk, as he does every week to college football teams, to the Knicks after they got destroyed by the Celtics, 104-59. You'll probably get a chance to catch it on SportsCenter another time later. We're working our way toward college football. Fresno State and New Mexico State coming up at the top of the hour. Great turnaround season for Pat Hill's team, trying to get their 8th win. They are bowl eligible and going into the postseason. But as we head toward December 1st, guys, championship Saturday, 14 weeks of upsets, of trying to survive, and it all comes down to one day, and it comes down to one game for Missouri. If Missouri can beat Oklahoma, they'll go to the national championship game. We've seen this game before, have we not? Back on October 13th in Norman. First quarter, OU's first possession, Sam Bradford, Joaquin Iglesias. Oh, I thought Missouri was the only team that fumbled in this game, Mark. Jeremy Macklin
starting already.
Coming around. Tigers go up 7-0. Second quarter. Now 10-7. Bradford to Jermaine Gresham, who leads the country in touchdown receptions by tight end. Sooners at a 17-7 lead. Now it's 24-23. Tigers up, and Chris Brown goes in, Lou. He was strong the entire night.
Oh, he played very, very well. Just the Oklahoma team played awfully well.
Down on the ground.
Score off a turnover, Reese.
Yes, they did. Curtis Lofton scoop and score. Bob Stoops said this week, amazing how many big plays Lofton has been around. He's been named the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. Chase Daniel is the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year. This is what Daniel did last year. Since I picked on you, Mark, well, I'm going to pick on you. You've been on Daniel about this performance against Oklahoma. The numbers, threw 10 incomplete passes, 361 yards.
But he was sacked twice, and he threw 2 interceptions.
Oh, okay.
So it's his fault he was sacked.
It was a 41-31 game, and both teams gave up costly turnovers. Oklahoma did it early. Missouri did it late. And there's been a feeling that perhaps Mizzou, at least among the Mizzou people, that the Tigers let that one get away, that they sort of handed it to Oklahoma a little bit. If Missouri's going to turn this around and win this time, what do they need to do this time?
Now they need to beat Oklahoma, and that's going to be a little bit hard.
But what do they need to do that?
Well, I think it's basically protecting the football. Chase Daniel's outstanding. It'll be a great game.
Yes, it will. It will be a great game. Missouri and Oklahoma. Lisa Salter's keeping her eye on that one.
Business as usual. That's been the mantra for both teams all week long. No surprise for Oklahoma, a team that has won 4 Big 12 championships under Bob Stoops. But for Missouri, a team that's making its Big 12 championship debut, business as usual, maybe a bit easier said than done. Sports Illustrated cover boy and Heisman contender Chase Daniel told me all the hoopla this week has been pretty cool, but it won't mean anything unless the Tigers win. Both teams should be close to 100% tomorrow. There is a possibility that Oklahoma defensive end Austin English will play for the first time since breaking his ankle earlier in the season. And Missouri tight end Chase Kaufman is also a game-time decision after re-injuring his ankle last week in Kansas City.
All right, Lisa, English's health would be LSU. That is not the case after Les Miles' team, the Mad Hatter, went down in triple overtime to Arkansas last week. So it'll be the Volunteers. They haven't won the SEC since 1998, the year they won the national championship. LSU knocked Tennessee out of contention for the national title in 2001 by upsetting the Volunteers. That was under Nick Saban. You know, it wasn't too long ago that Saban left to go to the Dolphins, so Les Miles had to come in, and now LSU once again is facing the possibility of a coaching change. Michigan has permission to talk to Les Miles. They're going to respect the wishes of LSU and wait until after the SEC championship game to do so. But how big a distraction is it for Les Miles to be looking at the Michigan job?
No, I think it's a distraction, but it's a bigger distraction for the assistant coaches and the players. I've been in this situation before. Les Miles has to make a decision. But what the assistant coaches are thinking, Gee, do I go with Bo Pelini? Do I go with Les Miles? Or do I try to get the job myself? What about my family? What if they don't take me? What if neither one of them do? What about my family have to move my children in school? And then the worst thing is the gossip in the halls. Everybody's talking about who's going to replace him? All the other thing, and you lose your focus of what you're trying to do.
It's a big distraction, but it's more of a distraction for the students, the alumni, the fans, and the players. Forget about the coaches. They come and go. But the players are there for at least 4 years trying to get an education, trying to play ball for LSU. Not only that, the coaches are going to be gone. The seniors are going to be gone. So it's the underclassmen that are going to pay the price. You look at LSU. This is a team that should be playing for a national championship, not just an SEC championship. And that's been a distraction for this team the last few weeks.
Now, Les Miles to Michigan, obviously the headliner for the potential for LSU losing coaches. The other one that's out there at LSU as well. Still to come with a spirited edition of College Football Live. Well, we haven't even started to brawl yet. Pittsburgh trying Well, I guess we have when you stop and think about it. Steve Slayton and West Virginia trying to make their way to the title game. UCLA trying to upend USC's plans for a second straight year. We'll sort things out in the Pac-10 coming up.
Mania. Get the breakdown on the bowl game.
These are the games everybody remembers.
Our guys will dissect all 32 games, from the locks to the toss-ups.
They are rolling over people right now.
Bowl Mania, Saturday, December 8th at 9 Eastern on ESPN.
Myriad scenarios in the Pac-10, one of which could get UCLA in the Rose Bowl, but the most likely and simplest, if SC wins, they are going to the Rose Bowl. Bruins and Trojans head-to-head. Janine Edwards out west.
Here at USC, the Trojans are preparing for their annual matchup with the UCLA Bruins, and USC head coach Pete Carroll told us this week his team is the healthiest it's been all season. Meanwhile, on Thursday, UCLA announced they'll be starting quarterback Pat Cowan, who's missed the last 2 games with a collapsed lung. And Carroll said he's well aware of Cowan's mobility, but he's still making the first order of business, the defusing of UCLA's playmaking safeties. Rece?
Janine, UCLA had been dipping into the quarterback well so deep they were checking to see if Mark Harmon had any eligibility left. They've had so many guys injured. UCLA has been the calling card for West Virginia, and as the Mountaineers try to win their way into the national championship game, they'll try to take out the Pitt Panthers in the 100th edition of the Backyard Barbecue Brawl. I know you know, I'm picking on you tonight. Holly Rowe is ready for the brawl.
Let's pick on Mark.
The Mountaineers are on top of the world this week. The only thing keeping them from the national championship game, a little thing called the Backyard Brawl, 100 years in the making against arch-enemy Pittsburgh. West Virginia coach Rich Rodriguez told me Friday that he has kept everything the same this week. The same practice time, meeting time, everything has been very routine. Talked to some of the offensive players, Steve Slayton and Owen Schmidt Friday. They were calm, confident, and yet very excited. And when I asked defensive end Johnny Dingle how they're handling the hype, he said, hype, this is what we do at West Virginia. Now they just have to do it to get to the national championship.
Well, number 2 teams, as West Virginia is in the BCS, although they are ranked number 1 in one of the polls, it hasn't been so good for number 2 teams since October 1st. Look at all those teams that have gone down. Only Kansas fell on College Football Live. We'll have a pep talk at halftime that Lou will give to the Pittsburgh Panthers. And Hawaii, are the Warriors BCS bound, and should they be? We'll discuss. And coming up top of the hour, Tom Brandstatter going to lead the Bulldogs of Fresno State. You see what Brandstatter did against K-State last week. High-powered attack of Hal Mummy coming up top of the hour.
Jack Link's Beef Jerky presents Messin' with Sasquatch.
Hey, you want to ride? It's okay. Sorry. We're sorry. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, buddy.
Jack Link's Jerky. Feed your wild side.
No one comes into our house and pushes us around. Whose house is this? Mucus's house!
When mucus huddles in your chest, the congestion doesn't quit.
Whose house? Mucus's house!
That's why there's Mucinex. Mucinex is specially made to break up mucus that causes congestion.
Not now! It's a blowout!
And only Mucinex lasts for 12 hours.
Can we play at your house?
Mucinex in, mucus out.
Dr. Pepper Championship Saturday on ABC at 1, the ACC titles on the line. Then at 4:30, it's a battle for the Rose Bowl. And at 8, Missouri plays for a trip to the national championship.
Jackaroot.
Hey guys, it's only fitting that the uncertainty, the unexpected that we witnessed throughout the regular season should continue right down to the final game of the regular season here on the island of Oahu when the Hawaii Warriors host the Washington Huskies. For Hawaii, it's an opportunity to make history and to get their ticket punched to a high-dollar BCS bowl berth. But for the Washington Huskies, it's their opportunity as well to have a say in who goes where. Now, the Huskies say the only way they think they can beat the Warriors is by maintaining extended offensive drives. We'll have to wait and see if they're successful at that. I'm still learning my Hawaiian, guys, but I think the way you say back to you over here is mahalo.
Aloha means hello and goodbye. Mark, the schedule has been the point of discussion for Hawaii all year. If the Warriors win this game, do they deserve to be in the BCS?
Yes, they definitely do, and some people criticize.
Could be mutual, some would say as well. There is Woody Woodenhofer, the veteran coach who is retiring after tonight's game. Woody has 4 Super Bowl rings, former head coach of Vanderbilt, Missouri as well. His last run coming up.
Just a little something.
Find some of the best values of the year at the Lexus December.
The destination is a dream, an improbable spot in the BCS title game. But the obstacle is Oklahoma, the one team to tame the Tigers this season. Missouri, Oklahoma, a showdown in San Antonio in the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship game tomorrow at 8 Eastern on Saturday Night Football.
Coaching transactions on Friday. Hey, how about this? He's nearly 80. He's a man, and he got a 1-year contract extension, just like 40-year-old Mike Gundy did. Both Bobby Bowden and Mike Gundy getting contract extensions. Bowden's deal was set to expire in January. Dave Wanstead gets a 3-year contract extension through 2012. That's expected to be announced soon. My question is, if the Wanstash gets an extension, does that mean it's a Fu Manchu rather than just the Wanstash? There are other coaching moves that
join the ESPN-B Foundation in the fight against cancer. Call 1-800-4-JIMMY-V or log on to www.jimmyv.org and donate now. It is a rainy night here in Las Cruces, New Mexico, but there will be football played between the raindrops. Bowl-bound Fresno State taking on the Aggies of New Mexico State. Now there is still much to play for in the WAC. 5 teams still in the bowl hunt. The WAC has 3 bowl tie-ins, and right now, while Hawaii hoping for a BCS bowl bid, while Boise State, Fresno State, and the winner of Louisiana Tech and Nevada tomorrow will all be bowl eligible. So glad you could join us.
Quarterback for New Mexico State has had a problem with interceptions, 18 of them this year, and that's too many. Other than that, he's done a good job. The thing that Mummy loves about Holbrook is the fact that he's a natural, great leader. When he came here as an ineligible player, as a scout teamer, he took over the leadership of the team such that he was elected captain before he ever took a snap. He'll need to have his best game ever to be in this game tonight against Fresno.
Well, Holbrook will try and set history on an individual level and become the school's all-time total yardage leader tonight. And New Mexico State, they'll try and change history as a team. They have never defeated Fresno State. They are 0-13 in the first 13 go-arounds. Don't go anywhere. The kickoff is next.
But then Bob...
Jack Link's Jerky. Feed your wild side.
Fresno State, they have had their way against New Mexico State. They have never lost to the Aggies. 13-0. They're 7-0 right here at Aggie Memorial Stadium. Tonight, New Mexico State will finish off their season trying to get that elusive 5th win. Well, joining us now is our sideline guy, Dave Ryan. And Dave, what's going on with the latest of the Fresno State backfield?
All right, Eric, thanks a lot. We know Fresno State has plenty of talent at running back. The question is, who's healthy enough to be effective tonight? We'll try to answer that tonight. Pat Hill, the head coach, tells us Ryan Matthews is #1 running back and just a freshman who leads them in rushing touchdowns this year. Has been bothered by an ankle, but the coach said he had a very good week of practice. Great last week in the win over Kansas State in Fresno. Had a career best 115 yards rushing and a touchdown, but suffered a bruised back late in that game. Don't forget Clifton Smith played very well against the Wildcats last week, but suffered a hip pointer. He's not 100% either. Eric, the mentality of the running back course summed up pretty well by Smith, who said the coaches have told the Bulldogs repeatedly, when a player ahead of you on the depth chart gets hurt, it's your time to step up and produce. This game another chance to show what the running backs can do, and so far, that philosophy has been pretty effective for Pat Hill's team.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Pat Hill, he likes to run the football. They average over 200 yards a game on the ground, so that will be a real emphasis. Chase Holbrook, just a junior from Hurst, Texas. Began his collegiate career playing for Hal Mumme and 1AA football playing at Southeast Louisiana. He will have every Aggie throwing record by the time he graduates next year. What a surprise. The Aggies will throw on first down. They get it to their fine tight end, Nick Cleaver, who picks up 14 yards, and that'll move the sticks. Now tonight's starting lineups are brought. Chase Holbrook in his 2nd season as the starting quarterback for New Mexico State. 6'5", 240 pounds, was recruited by many schools to be a tight end. Not many wanted him to play quarterback, but he has shown that he is more than capable. Going deep, has a man, and it's caught. Kenneth Buckley, and Buckley, touchdown, Aggies! We told you they could score, and Hal Mumme's thrilled. 66 yards on the pitch and catch. Holbrook to Buckley.
Best deep ball thrower I've had when you think about who he's coached. But look here, you can't do it any better than that. Damon Jennings gave up a couple of steps, and that was just enough for Kenneth Buckley to take the great throw into the end zone.
Paul Young, extra point, no problem. And just like that, we've played 1 minute and 4 seconds, and Chase Holbrook has led his team to 7 points.
I like Holbrook even more. Did you see him smile? He's got a front tooth missing. Guy could be a lineman. He ought to be a tight end if he couldn't throw so well. This is as good as it gets when you talk about a deep ball. Perfect stride. The receiver's got a wet ball to catch. He's looking up into a lot of water coming down into his eyes, and when it's thrown that well, you got a great chance to tuck it away and take it in the end zone. 26th touchdown of the year for Chase Holbrook. This is exactly what Pat Hill did not want to happen, and it's exactly what Hal Mumme needed to happen for this to be a competitive game.
So Tom Brandstater will take to the field for the first time. The junior from Turlock, California, 6'5", 240 pounds, coming off his best game as a collegian a week ago against Kansas State.
He was just stunning. I mean, look, he's got a nice completion percentage on the year, 61.8%. He's only thrown 5 interceptions, but he completed 79% against a Big 12 team and a good Big 12 team in Kansas State. That's not something that anybody expected. His coaches are absolutely delighted with him. And this is bad news. Tyler Klutz
is able to get back on a defense next time. Ryan Matthews on the carry, and the freshman from Bakersfield gets another first down. With the Fresno State starting.
Nice job of that.
Anthony Harding comes on to replace Ryan Matthews in the backfield for Fresno State. They're already in striking range. Little play action. Brandstater has a man. Pass is caught. Marlon Moore, his first grab, and he's down inside the 10. Somewhat of a surprise. Marlon Moore is playing with a soft cast on his left arm, still able to make a nice catch.
If you got a broken thumb and you play for Pat Hill, that really doesn't count. You just put a little rubber cast on that. Look at his left hand. Nice job of looking the ball in. Marlon had 9 catches last week. Derek Richardson on the tackle, number 22. And
another play action pass. Franstater with plenty of time. And just airmails it out of the back of the end zone. Nobody home. Well, the New Mexico State defense. Here's retiring defensive coordinator, Woody Woodenhofer. Well, we'll wait on that for a moment. There's Woody Woodenhofer, just a real huge name in the world of college football and pro football.
Yeah, and he's been a buddy of mine a long time. He wasn't my buddy when I had to coach against him. He's a terrific defensive football coach. He had a very tough time this year with injuries.
Former head coach at Missouri, also head coach at Vanderbilt. Longtime defensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers during those Steel Curtain days in the 70s. He's got 4 Super Bowl rings to his credit. Pass is short of the goal line. They get it to the tight end. That's Bear Pasco, and they're going to be short. It's going to be 4th down and goal. And it looks like there's no decision, coach. The field goal team's coming on.
Yeah, you don't mess around this early in the game and take a chance on coming away with no points. You want to score. You figure you're going to move the ball virtually every time against a defense that's been very porous this year. I mentioned they've lost a lot of starters. So you take the 3 points, you stop them, and you come back next time.
Senior kicker Clint Stitzer, 20-yarder, no problem, and the Bulldogs of Fresno State are on the board. They can't answer the touchdown scored by Hal Mummy's team, but they do get 3. We'll take a timeout. 11-11 remaining, first quarter. Well, something to cheer about finally for New Mexico State. They're off to an early 7-3 lead over Fresno State. This has been somewhat of a disappointing season in these parts, as the Aggies, with so much hope at the beginning of the season, they have lost 6 of their last 7 games.
Well, they've had 10 starters that have missed a total of 33 football games, and unless you're a very deep team, which they have never been here, you just can't sustain that and play well.
Just saw that rain in these parts is very rare. 2 games have been played in rain since 1993. The last time was 2 years ago when Fresno State was here playing against New Mexico. Let's go down to Dave. Holbrook. Pass is incomplete, trying to get it to Brandon Allen. And it skips before it can get that far. So the punt team will have to come on for the first time.
ESPN's College Football Primetime, brought to you by the Hyundai Big Duh Holiday Sales Event. The same great cars and great deals. And TiVo, ho, 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 perfect for the holidays.
Well, folks, if you've never been to these parts, it is beautiful. Taking a look at White Sands National Monument, one of the world's great natural wonders. It's white sands that encompass 275 square miles of desert. It's actually gypsum sand. It's the world's largest gypsum dune field. Who knew? Not too far away from Las Cruces, and it is beautiful around here. Southern New Mexico, where we are. First down carry, Ryan Matthews rips off 15 yards.
This game has not started.
New Mexico State defensive starters. Here's retiring defensive coordinator Woody Woodenhofer.
Well, at safety, we have Derek Richardson, who really controls the back end and makes a lot of calls and adjustments in the secondary. And up front, we have Brandon McKinney in the defensive line, a senior starting right defensive end. At Mike linebacker, we have Dante Floyd, who does control the front 7 and does a great job of that.
Coach, what do you think about when you think about a Woody Woodenhofer defense?
Nightmare. I mean, they come from every direction. He understands offensive thinking. He gets in your head. He studied under the great Chuck Noll, the legendary Hall of Fame coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and prior to that, the defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Colts, where I had the privilege of playing for him. And he just studies offenses so thoroughly. He understands what you're thinking, almost as if he were in your meeting room. He knows what you're going to do. This year, he has not had the personnel. And frankly, the kind of offense Hal Mummy runs makes it tough to play defense, because they go for it on 4th down. They throw it all the time, and many times you have to go back on the field in a hurry. And if you're thin, you have a tough time, as New Mexico State has this year.
Five receivers in the game once again. Brandstater, quick pass out to Tim Lang. And Lang, with just his 4th catch of the season, picks up 7 yards on first down. Dave?
Well, we talked about Woody Wooderhofer's tremendous career with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You said it, Eric. The 4 Super Bowl rings, both as a linebackers coach and as a defensive coordinator. He says he'll never forget the professionalism and intellectual capacity of some of those Hall of Fame players with Pittsburgh. Imagine the talent they had in '74. They drafted Lynn Swann, John Stallworth, Jack Lambert, Mike Webster, all those guys in the Hall of Fame. Oh, by the way, signed Donnie Shell as a free agent. What a team, huh?
Yeah, those were the steel curtain. No one penetrated that steel curtain. They were fantastic. There's a flag. Pass is complete over the middle. It would be a big gainer if it stands. That's the second catch for Bear Pasco. Let's see if it holds up.
Well, it's not going to stand, but very difficult to find a place to throw the ball. The old coordinator messing with the young quarterback's mind.
Here come the Aggies. They blitz one of their linebackers, and Brandstater is going to run for the first down and a bunch more. Oh, Brandstater still on his feet inside the 25-yard line. So with the blitz coming on.
So now you're up with 3rd and 7.
Anthony Harding replaces Matthews in the backfield. Brandstater, corner of the end zone. Incomplete. Good defense played by Devon House.
Ashiro Tutu numbers in the game.
Hold them to field goals instead of touchdowns. Stitzer, no problem. The senior, 2 for 2. First one 20 yards out. This one 24 yards out. So another trip to the red zone for Pat Hill's team, and they have to settle on defense when we come back.